Hey, happy Monday. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Daria, and this is Vinyasa Yoga for complete beginners. If you are brand new to a yoga practice, you are in the right place. Today's practice, we will be focusing on some foundational breath work and movements in Vinyasa style yoga. And this is just part one of what will be a several part series of Vinyasa yoga for beginners. So make sure to subscribe to my channel down below so that you don't miss any videos coming up soon. But let's get started. We'll start in Sukhasana, easy pose. So sitting just like this. If this is for any reason uncomfortable for you, you're always welcome to sit up on your knees. But ground your palms and close your eyes. Start to deepen your breath. And drop into your space. Turn your awareness, your attention inward. Bring to the top of your mind the reason why you showed up here today, why you decided to click on this video and start a yoga practice. Maybe you're here for the physical benefits of yoga, to find more strength, more movement in your body, more flexibility maybe. Maybe you're here for the mental benefits. Find an inner calm, lessen anxiety and stress. Whatever the reason is, whatever your personal why is, take a breath to bring that to the top of your mind. Whenever we start anything new, having a clear sense of why is such an important motivator and something that can help us stay on our journey with the process of learning, building new habits. And now see if you can start to tune into a sense of openness in your mind and your body, curiosity and receptiveness to learning something new, maybe moving in a different way, and letting go of any judgment. Blink your eyes open. We'll start our practice today with breath. Yoga is motivated by breath, especially in the Vinyasa style. Breath motivates movement. So I believe that starting with the breath is a great place to begin. Today we're going to be working on what's called Ujjayi breath, and this translates to victorious breath. It's a breath that builds heat in the body throughout your practice. Have patience and compassion with yourself as we try this. Again, it's something new, so take your time. If you don't get it right away, that's totally okay. For Ujjayi breath, you'll find a slight constriction in the back of the throat, and the breath will move through almost like a massage, sort of rinsing up and down. We'll start by bringing the palm in front of the face, and the idea here is to breathe as if you're trying to fog up a mirror. Start by breathing through the mouth. Inhale. Exhale with power, with force, like you're trying to fog up a mirror. So you can feel the breath on your hand and notice that sensation in the back of your throat. Try one more time, just like that. Inhale through the mouth. Exhale through the mouth. So you can notice it's an audible breath, breathing with sound. And now we'll try breathing through the nose only. So inhale through the nose. Seal your lips and exhale through your nose with that same intention, that same force, fogging up a mirror. Good. Again, inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. One more time, inhale. Exhale. You can release the palm down to your leg. So the idea here is that the inhales and the exhales have the same amount of sound and the same quality with the sound. It sounds like ocean waves, or you might hear it referred to as Darth Vader breath. And any of these images that help you, that resonate with you, go for it. Like keep those and use those. We'll start now to move, connecting breath to movement. Come up to tabletop position. Ground your palms directly under your shoulders and stack your hips over your knees. And now send awareness to your fingers. Spread them wide and then stick each individual fingertip down into your mat like it's a little tiny suction cup on each individual finger. And now press down even more actively through the L shape between your thumb and your index finger right here. Emphasize the press into that space on both hands. Keeping the palms grounded like this and really having a solid foundation in the hands will help to support you as we start moving through some postures. We'll begin with cat-cows. So inhale, lower your belly, lift your tailbone up and back, spread your sit bones wide. Send your heart forward, opening up, and then lift your gaze. Imagine that the back of your head and your tailbone are pulling together, magnetizing. This is cow. Exhale for cat. Draw your belly button to your spine, in and up to initiate this movement. And we're curling the spine, press down actively through the palms, the tops of the feet, and keep engaging the core. Pull in and up. Good. This is cat. Inhale for cow, lower the belly, lift the gaze, open the heart. Let this movement be easy and let it feel good. And then exhale, pull your forehead toward your hip points, imagining that these two places are magnetizing together as you press away from the floor, creating a beautiful Halloween cat arch in the back. Inhale, lift the gaze, lower the belly, cow. Exhale for cat. One more time with the breath. Inhale, look up, open the heart. Exhale, press down, belly button in and up. Curl. Return to a neutral spine. Tuck your toes behind you. Come back to grounding in the palms, so re-engage that sort of lock with your hands into the earth. With the toes tucked, start to send your weight back into the toes until your knees come up and off the mat, and then slowly lift your tailbone up and back away from you as you keep pressing down through the palms, coming into downward facing dog. Keep the press through the hands. Hug your forearms together, and then see if you can externally rotate the shoulder blades. Pull the shoulders away from each other and send energy down and forward through your palms. And now see if you can bring your lowest set of ribs closer together, knit them together, pulling in, engaging the core, and lift up and back through the sit bones, spreading them wide away from each other. And you can really emphasize into this spread of the sit bones by imagining that your inner thighs are rotating toward the back of your room. And now here, the objective is to keep the spine really long, lengthening, rather than curling in. So you may need to keep your knees bent here in order to find that length in the spine, and that is absolutely fine. The thing with yoga is that everyone's anatomy, everyone's body is slightly different. And so my version of downward facing dog might look different from your version of downward facing dog. And that's totally normal and totally okay. You might be starting to feel the arms working here, lighting up and engaging. Just dig into that sensation, breathe into it. Inhale, lift up high onto the balls of your feet. And then exhale, draw your knees into your chest and slowly start to lower your heels back down to your mat as you maybe work the knees straight. The heels might stay a little lifted here, or maybe they hover just slightly off the mat. Maybe you press them all the way down. Nice. Inhale, look forward to the space between your palms, and then exhale. Step one foot in front of the other, walk all the way up until your toes come directly behind your wrists. You can keep the knees bent and keep the feet hips distance apart. And we'll exhale to take Ragdoll pose. So with a generous bend in the knees, drape your torso forward over your legs, connecting your stomach, your chest to your thighs. This fold initiates from the hip joint, so avoid any curling into the low back. Again, the objective is to lengthen the spine, so intend to fold, actively fold from the hips. You can grab for opposite elbows with your hands, maybe sway your torso side to side. Keep the back of your neck long. Imagine that there is a crown sitting on top of your head that's a little bit weighted, so it's pulling you down from the crown of the head toward the earth. Create more space between each vertebra. And exhale one more time, folding a little deeper. And now release your palms back down to your mat and bring your feet together to touch. Toes come all the way together. Leave just a teeny sliver of space between the heels. Keep a tiny micro bend in the knees, a buoyancy in the knees, maybe more than a micro bend, depending on the flexibility in your hamstrings. Press down through the toes and slowly roll yourself all the way up to stand, drawing your belly in and up and stacking one vertebra on top of the next, rising all the way up, slower than you think you can, until your head is the last thing to lift. Good. From here, take your gaze down to your toes. Lift all your toes up and away from the mat, spread them wide, and then press down through the big toes and the pinky toes. So a lot of the time in yoga, we'll hear the teacher will say, ground down through all four corners of your feet. What this means is press into your big toe, press into your pinky toe, press into your heels on both sides. And same way that we found with the hands, this keeps us safe and supported, really grounded and rooted into the mat to help build the foundation for the postures. From here, inhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Keeping the feet firmly rooted, reach your arms out and up to frame your face. Spiral your pinkies toward the front of the room and then release your shoulders down your back. So creating space between the ears and the shoulders. I'll show you facing the front. This is the posture, Tadasana, mountain pose. Create a firm in your quads. And then tip your hip points just slightly forward to engage the low belly. And again, see if you can pull that lowest set of ribs together. Nice. Inhale to grow your spine a little longer. Exhale, forward fold. Swan dive down with a flat back, keeping a micro bend or maybe a larger bend in the knees. Again, folding from the hips. Uttanasana, forward fold, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift, press down through the feet, send weight into the balls of your feet and glide your palms up your shins. Create a flat back, one long line of energy from the crown of the head to the tailbone. Exhale, plant your palms and step your feet back to a high plank pose. Keeping shoulders stacked above wrists and let your heels float above your toes. And now press down through your palms. So rather than sinking into the shoulder joint here, we want to make sure to press away from the mat. So creating a dome effect between the shoulder blades. If this is already feeling like a lot, always an option to lower down to your knees and hang out here, but still keep that active press. If you're up in high plank, keep breathing. Notice how strong your body is, all the muscles lighting up and engaging to hold you up. And notice that the more you press away from the mat, the lighter you can feel. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Good. We'll move into Chaturanga Dandasana now. If you're on your knees, see if you can press all the way back up to your high plank. Hinge forward onto the tips of your toes. Send your gaze forward and send your shoulders a few inches in front of your wrists. Good. From here, bend your elbows into your rib cage, lower down halfway, low plank, Untuck your toes to the tops of your feet. Inhale, upward facing dog. Press into your palms and the tops of your feet. There's 4 points of contact with your mat here, which are the 2 hands and the 2 feet. And the more you press away, the more you can lift your thighs, hover them off your mat rather than sinking down. Keep it lifted. Good. From here, exhale for downward facing dog. Pull your belly button to your spine to initiate this movement and lift all the way up and back, rolling over the feet. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward, and exhale, lower down to your knees. So that is Chaturanga Dandasana. And if that felt really challenging, that's super normal because it is really challenging. And so there are several options that you can take to help you build strength to move into the full expression of this posture. If you're someone who's a complete beginner to yoga, I would definitely recommend exploring some of these other options to help you build strength. These modifications exist for a reason, and there's no shame in taking them. Really listen to your body and take what it needs. This will help you to keep safe alignment and, like I said, build strength. So here are your options. Coming from a high plank, the first option is to lower down to your knees, hinge slightly forward again so the shoulders will come a little bit in front of the wrists, and lower down, drawing elbows to your rib cage. Keep your butt high, and then take your chest and your chin down to your mat. Come all the way down to the belly. Keep the palms where they are, press into the feet, and inhale for baby cobra. This is just pressing into the feet, lifting your heart up and away from your mat. Keep the back of your neck long here. And this is a great option to take if upward facing dog is challenging or causes any discomfort in the low back. And then from here, you'll press up to tabletop, tuck your toes behind you, and then lift up and back to downward facing dog. That's option number 1. Here is a second option. From high plank, lower down to your knees, hinge forward, draw elbows into rib cage, lower down halfway only. Plant the tops of the feet behind you, and then inhale, press yourself up to upward facing dog. From here, pull belly button to spine and lift all the way up and back. Another option is to simply hang out in your high plank pose. And I say simply, but this posture is challenging. High plank is hard. So you would hear the teacher cue to lower down halfway, inhale for upward facing dog, and you will be hanging out here the whole time, building strength, lighting up the muscles, and then exhale, downward facing dog, lift up and back. You can also, if you're taking that high plank option, just hang out in a kneeling plank, and that's great too. So those are all of the options. Again, please explore, find what works in your body wherever you are on your yoga journey. And we'll go ahead and flow through our Sun A, Surya Namaskar A, 2 more times, connecting breath to movement and taking whichever version of Chaturanga that you like. So everyone come now to downward facing dog. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Step to the top of your mat and fold from the hips. Inhale, mountain pose, root down, rise up, shoulders away from the ears. And then exhale, fold forward, dive it down. Inhale, halfway lift, weight comes into the toes, long spine, flat back. And then exhale, plant your palms, Chaturanga Dandasana, your version. I'm gonna lower to my knees, hinge forward slightly, elbows come into the rib cage, tops of the feet come down. Inhale, upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog, hips go up and back. Again, inhale, look forward. Exhale, travel, forward fold, top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, micro bend the knees, long spine. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain, reach up, grow tall through the spine, and then exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, your version, your flow. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog, up and back. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, come down to the knees. Sit your hips back to your heels. Bring your palms to face up and close your eyes. See if you can find stillness right away. Let your body absorb. Take in all the information, anything new, any new movements that you just learned. And see if you can observe any sensations, emotions, whatever you're thinking and feeling, from a place of curiosity rather than judgment, releasing any expectations or preferences. Have some compassion and patience with yourself as you begin, as you learn. Blink your eyes open, and we'll come all the way down to our backs. So plant your feet into the mat and then use your core, slowly rolling down the length of the spine, all the way down. Keep the right foot planted, and we'll lift the left leg up and over, crossing the left ankle over the right knee. We'll take supine figure 4 from here. See if you can draw your belly button to your spine, really press, engaging the low belly. Press your whole spine into your mat, and then pick up your right foot. And from here, grab for whatever's accessible, if anything. If nothing's accessible, you can just take your hands wherever feels good, maybe your hips. If you can, grab for behind your right leg. As you inhale, find a little more length in the spine. And as you exhale, see if you can pull your right knee in a little closer to the chest. The goal here, where you want to feel the stretch, is the outer left hip. The more deeply you breathe, the more deeply you'll be able to stretch. The idea here is for the whole spine to be flat on your mat. And if you're not there, that's okay. If your tailbone is slightly lifted, just send awareness there. Send your intention there and see as you exhale if you can melt your tailbone down a little closer to your mat. We're here for one more breath. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, soften. Pull the right knee in. Good. We'll switch sides. Uncross. Take the left foot down. Right ankle crosses up and over. Again, pull the low belly in and up, press down, and then see if you can lift the left leg up and away from the mat. Bring your hands to interlace, maybe behind your left leg, maybe not, wherever is accessible. Keep an active flex through both feet. And then as you inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, pull the left knee in a little closer. And this is true when we're stretching in yoga. The inhale is the place to find a little more length, and the exhale is the place to deepen the stretch. You can literally imagine your breath moving to points of tension. Send your breath into the core of the sensation that you're feeling and find release. One more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Bring both knees into your chest. Wrap your forearms around your shins. Lift your shoulder blades up and away from the mat and pull yourself into a really nice tight ball. Give your body a big hug. Inhale, squeeze. And exhale, drop. Release into Shavasana. Let your legs come out long, arms go long. Send your palms up toward the ceiling. Let your toes fall open and close your eyes. Get out any little wiggles or adjustments that you need to make in order to feel comfortable here in this resting pose. If you feel any pain or discomfort in your low back, you can always take a pillow under your knees or bring both of the soles of your feet down to the mat to support the low back a little more. Let your breath soften. There's no need to do anything but breathe naturally and easily in and out. See if you can just melt into gravity, letting go of any gripping or holding or engagement in the muscles. Just relax. Shavasana is such an important time in your yoga practice. This is the time and the space that your body has to soak up all the information, the energy, all the benefits of the movement, the breath that we just took. We'll stay here for a few more moments. See if you can melt a little more. Sink into gravity, into your mat, into the earth. You are always welcome to stay in your Shavasana as long as you have time for, and I'd encourage you to stay as long as you can. If you're ready to be guided out, start to bring some small, gentle movements back into your fingertips and your toes. Lazily let your head fall from one side and then to the other. And now take a long body stretch, reach your arms back behind you and get long from the tips of your toes to the tips of your fingers, stretching out like taffy. And let this length carry you over to one side or the other for fetal pose, whichever side you prefer, letting your head rest on your bicep like a pillow. Take a breath here. And then press down into your palms. Keep your eyes closed or keep your gaze soft and make your way all the way back up to a seat right where we started with our breathing. Bring your palms together at heart center, thumbs to your chest, to your sternum. Take a moment here to acknowledge yourself for showing up, having the courage and the bravery to try something new, and to explore with curiosity, openness, and without judgment. Know that you can come back to this feeling of receptiveness with your breath, your mind, and your body connection at any time. Bring your palms up to your third eye center, the space between your eyes. Inhale. And then exhale, bow forward. Namaste. Thank you so much for starting your yoga practice with me here today. And congratulations on making it through maybe your first yoga class ever. If you enjoyed this video, go down below and give it a like. Leave me a comment if you had any confusion or if you have any questions, and make sure to subscribe to my channel because that really supports me. And that way you won't miss any yoga for beginners videos coming up soon. Have a great rest of your day or night, and I will see you next time. Bye. Come sit here with me by the fire and let it